Good morning, traders and investors. Steve Gans here. And as you know, I've already done a couple of videos on Lucid and how and why I'm investing in Lucid stock, and also purchased the car, which should be here in maybe, I don't know, 10 days, something like that. So pretty excited about that. But there's been a little bit of additional news on Lucid recently, and they announce earnings tomorrow night after the close. So what is the new information that's come out? Well, I don't know if you're familiar with it or not, but there's a company that's been out there for a long time called the Motley Fool. The Motley Fool's been very, very successful at spotting companies that are up and coming pretty early in the stage of awareness, and they've now brought Lucid to the forefront. Now, let's just take a look at a couple of the things that they've had to say here. So the article here starts off talking about a no-brainer EV stock. They talk specifically about some EV manufacturers that have gone bust, Fisker, Lordstown Motors, etc. But they also talk about how Tesla had the right stuff and what that right stuff is. So let's just take a look at some of the numbers that they're reporting here. So on these numbers, we can see they have a moderately large market cap. They're trading at a very low valuation right now in the $3, $3.25 range. In the past, they had been trading up in the 30 to 60 range. And obviously, there's a chance that they could get back there at some point in the future. They have new products that are launching right now. They're launching the new Gravity, which is an SUV, which of course SUVs are very hot in the United States. They're also rolling that product off the assembly line now in Saudi Arabia. So those are a couple of things that we're probably going to hear a little more about in tomorrow night's earnings report. In addition to that, we can see where Motley Fool kind of calls out the Tesla game plan, where Tesla started making very high-end vehicles. They started with the Model S. And by the way, one of the designers on the Model S team, the lead designer, is the gentleman that is no longer at Tesla that started developing this car back in around 2010, somewhere in that general range. So he wanted to build a more luxurious Model S back when he was with Tesla. He and Elon Musk had a falling out, not even going to try to cover how all that happened and who did what to who. Bottom line is, Peter went out on his own and started developing this product with the goal of it being a higher end, more luxurious, higher performance model of the Tesla Model S. So the Lucid Air is their high-end luxury vehicle that they launched initially, and that higher price ticket helps fund additional product development, and then they move down in the scale. So they're producing a mid-sized car planned for 2026. They're producing an SUV that's going to be coming out soon. Again, very similar to the Tesla plan where they did the Model S, then they went to the Model X, the SUV, and then they went to smaller size vehicles, the Model Y, Model 3, etc. So they're really sort of following that same Tesla game plan, as Motley Fool points out in this article. And then finally, if we look at, and finally, Motley Fool sums this up by saying, is this worth a $1,000 investment given the potential explosive growth? So what I'm going to do on this, I'm going to take a little bit of a different approach. I do already own some stock. And again, we can see that the stock's currently trading right here around the $3 range. What I'm going to plan on doing here is I'm going to buy some leaps in addition to stock. These are long-term options. I'm going to come in, I'm going to buy the furthest out possible leap I can get here. I'm going to go all the way out to January of 2027. I'm going to buy 3 of these, and I'm going to spend in the $1.60, $1.65 a piece range for these. And so I'm going to have a total expense into this of $500. That's my risk in this position. Now, I need to understand that that is going to be decaying out from under me. There's really 2 things working against me here. One is, of course, whether or not the company survives. I personally think it will. I think they've got a valid path. Motley Fool kind of points out that path as well. But if they don't, I'm going to be out that $500 and I need to know that. So the other thing working against me is time decay. Literally, all of this is going to decay out from under me. If this particular stock does not get above my break-even point here, let's see, that's right in that, looks like it's going to be in about the 450 range, somewhere in there. If this does not get above that price point by January 2027, then I'm also going to be at a loss in the position. So what I'm looking for is this stock is going to start moving. If this stock does get up into the $15 range, $10 range, whatever, I'll at least have a tripling of the value. And of course, if it takes the path of a Tesla, a Netflix, some of the other companies that Motley Fool and others have spotted early on, the potential can be huge. All I'm looking for here is a foothold in case this plays out in a way that I think it might. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get these leaps bought here today prior to the earnings announcement tomorrow evening, and then I'll just be tracking these going forward. So just as a reminder, I have done some other videos on Lucid. I'll put those links in the description below. Feel free to check those out as well. This is not financial advice. This is my own personal thought process and opinion of this company and their products and what I'm personally planning on doing about my thoughts and opinions. So take care, everyone.